Episode 56. Episode 56. It's episode 56 of Talking with Tasha. And it's episode 2 of the Lostcast, Pilot Part 2. Thanks for coming back for another great episode. At least I think it's great. And I think you will too. Trey and I talk about a lot in this episode besides Lost. There's a little bit of everything. We talk about the Oscar nominations, Amelia Perez, Hadestown, so many things. Matchbox 20. It really runs the gamut. I also could go on a whole rant about the Grammys that were just on Sunday, but I want to get to the good stuff. And honestly, I feel like my thoughts on the Grammys could be an entire episode in itself. So I think I'll save that for when I can talk with Trey about it again, because, we're a little bit in the time machine. We recorded this a little bit ago. So bear with me. Real quick before we get into the episode, Trey and I obviously understand that the real life plane crash and tragedies that have happened here at the end of January it's tough. And so we understand that Lost does revolve around a fictional plane crash. So obviously there's a trigger warning for this episode. We will be talking a lot about fictional plane crashes and their wreckages. Our hearts are with the families and friends that lost loved ones in Washington, D.C. and Philadelphia at the end of January. I believe that flight was also from Wichita. So just the entire nation was gripped by this. We understand if you need to skip this episode. We hope you'll join us in the future. And just know that anything we say is about a fictional plane crash. Lost is a TV show, but obviously a real life plane crash would be very traumatic and awful. And we understand that. And I think without further ado, let's just get into Lostcast Pilot Part 2, Talking with Tasha and Trey. So I just saw that you posted on Facebook about Amelia Perez. And
yes,
I have watched it. Should we, what are thoughts?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
No, I just have a theory.
Okay.
About Amelia Perez. So, Natasha, when you watched Amelia Perez, did you watch it in the original languages or in the all English dub?
The original languages with subtitles.
And did you love it or did you hate it?
Some of it is in English. So
But the movie in general, not so much like the language. Did you love the movie or did you hate the movie?
I would like it more if it wasn't beating Wicked at winning stuff, because I don't think it's better than Wicked, but I think it's a good movie when you watch it.
Yeah.
I think Zoe Saldana, she's not really known for singing. She was in Center Stage. We know she can dance.
Right.
So obviously Selena Gomez is in it as well. I like Selena. But part of it, and do you know what it's about, I'm assuming?
Yep, I know what it's about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I get that, we need stories about trans people, and I like that actress was nominated. She's like the first, I like all the things it kind of stands for, but just parts of it are kind of like, what the fuck is going on?
Right. So I've really only heard about the rhetoric around Amelia Perez. Yeah. And I heard that Zoe Saldana is wonderful in it. But I heard that Selena Gomez is also there. And then the lead actress's name, I want to make sure I get her name.
Yeah, I was blanking on it, but
it was her middle name I couldn't get. Carla Sofia Gascon.
Yeah.
I hear that she's also just wonderful in it. In the queer community in New York.
Yeah.
It is a lot of why is this cis-het white Frenchman making a movie musical about a Mexican trans woman?
Yeah.
And fully admitting that he knows nothing about the trans experience and did the bare minimum of research on Mexico.
And see, I guess, I don't know. Some of that as someone that's only been to Puerto Vallarta and was in an all-inclusive resort, the Mexico
Sure.
stuff seemed true to me. Like, but again, I'm not like an expert
Right.
by any means, but
And neither of us have, as I assume that neither of us have experience with a drug cartel.
no. But there is just a couple of the songs I really liked. I like in the storyline where after she's transitioned, she starts a nonprofit organization to help people find missing family members and help
Yeah,
widows and stuff, like kind of making good on some of the stuff from the prior life, you know.
that
So
sounds lovely.
I like some of that. She has a fundraiser. This is a fun song where like Zoe Saldana is like on the tables and stuff where they're having a fundraiser and they're raising money from all of these like crooked politicians and people that they did business with before, you know. So it's like
Mhm.
a song of just about how, you know, dirty money and but now it'll be used for good, and I don't know, just kind of this weird juxtaposition of what is happening at this fundraiser, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I
so there's parts of
I
it I
would
really liked, and then there's parts of it like the song when Zoe is like auditioning doctors to help the person transition.
that's around all of the internet in English.
Yeah, and it's like man to woman, woman to man. Like that's a weird song. Like it needed to
Is that
for
Are
that
those
it needed
lyrics
to be
in
better.
English?
Yes, part
Are
of the yes,
like those lyrics, like the
yes.
man to woman or woman to man,
Yeah.
man to woman from penis to vagina. Like,
Yes, that's in
I've
English.
not seen that's in English, and that's beating
Exactly.
I who's the mage? Who's major? Oh gosh.
Yeah, and that's my biggest beef with this movie is I think it's a great movie and I mean, it's kind of weird and different and I'm all for that. But you're going to win best musical over Wicked? Like I don't at the Golden Globes?
Musical or comedy, musical or
It's
comedy,
not a
or
comedy.
horror movie with
It's not a
with
comedy.
the substance either too.
True. The substance, but the substance, did you see the substance?
I know, so I do not do well with body horror. So when the nominees came out, I every year for all 37 years of my life, even when I was an infant, I was like, I'm gonna watch every single Oscar movie, and I have accomplished that approximately 0 times. And I'm like, maybe this year, and there are 50 films nominated for Oscars across all categories. I
Mhm.
don't know if Sioux Falls does this, but in New York, there are cinemas that will play like the animated shorts and live
Yep.
action
We have a
shorts.
couple that will do that. You can buy like a pass and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. So I have been like, I want to try to do it this year, but the substance just feels I don't do body horror very
Okay.
well,
Here's my deal again. And
but I really
Demi,
want to see it.
here's why I think I wasn't as mad that Demi beat Cynthia Erivo. Here's because I did see the substance, and Demi does a really good job in it. And here's a thing that's just kind of a rule: she gets naked. If you get naked in a movie, you're gonna win. Like that's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
that's how it is. And girl looks great. Like I mean, the whole movie is about trying to like stay
yep.
young or like ageism and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, if I looked like Demi Moore at any point in my life, I would be I'm not even gonna say at her age, because I've never looked like Demi Moore has ever looked at any age. So,
I mean, all bodies are different and all bodies are beautiful, but I also understand what you're saying
yes.
about Demi Moore has had that gorgeous figure her
Yes. And
entire
I've always
career.
loved her hair. She's always just had like long flowing
Yes.
hair that just
Let me just get my gay snaps out now for Demi Moore's hair.
and in the substance, I went in not I knew the ageism part and the like
Mhm.
take this substance and you'll have a younger version of yourself, whatever. But
Right.
I didn't know really what I was getting myself.
I
And the
think it's
end,
streaming now.
yeah, the end, I will say obviously it is body horror, but I think and I guess I don't know your all your trigger points or whatever. And yes, some of it is gross. A lot of other parts that aren't even there's parts where there's just like the way they use the sound and like things that are like squelching and stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot. But honestly, the end and it's so bad it's funny. And that's why for some weird reason I think it still sort of is a comedy because
Sure.
and I don't know if we were supposed to laugh, but in the theater, a few of us were like, I don't know what else to do, so we're gonna laugh a little bit.
I mean, my points in body horror are like, I do not like to watch or hear physical pain on screen. The biggest one for me ever. Did you watch the show Boys on Amazon?
No, but I have heard good things about it, but no, I have not
Oh,
seen it.
yeah, sure, fine. It's great. Spoiler alert for some part in the first season. Sweet little Haley Joel Osment, who is no longer little Haley Joel Osment, he's a full adult with a beard.
Yep.
There's one point towards the end of the season, and I was already like, oh, I don't know how much I can do this. He gets into a fight with one of the main characters in a bar bathroom, and the main character just takes Haley Joel Osment's sweet bearded face and smashes it into the porcelain sink.
That's
And
not
you
fun.
just see pieces of sweet Haley Joel Osment's face coming off. And I turned to Nick and I said, I can't do this anymore. Have fun. I'm going to go read in the bedroom.
The thing with the substance at the end, though, and parts of it are just, it looks really gross, and parts of it are a little bloody at the end. But it's also like hard to watch, not just because of the disfigurement of the thing at the end, spoiler alert, but it's like they just keep trying to be. The whole point is they wanted to be for it's leading up to a New Year's Eve show, and she's like, oh, we booked this New Year's Eve thing, and it's like she still wants to do it even though she's this hot mess now. And it like and I don't know, I just think it's a metaphor for like,
oh, I'm like, sure the substance.
Yeah, but when you're like, when you're seeing like a stand-up comedian even just doing terrible and it's awkward and you're like, oh, I feel like that's more of the feeling you're getting is like, oh, I just want him to like give up, just get off the stage, like, you know what I mean? Just that feeling happens more than anything. Like,
yeah, I'm we're gonna watch it, like, because I just hear wonderful things, but I haven't heard a bad thing about it other than it's body horror. Just know that going in.
Yeah,
I could go on for days about the other movies, and if you want, we can. But I also know that we've got to give the people what they want.
No, I feel like we can touch on yes, welcome back to Lostcast, I suppose.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
We'll get into the second episode here. At the beginning, we're just gonna catch up a little current events, a little whatever. I was a little bummed. The Oscar, we're gonna be sort of in the time machine when this comes out. So Oscar nominations just came out this last week. I was a little bummed the last Showgirl didn't really get nominated for stuff.
Have you seen it? I haven't seen it yet.
I went to it last weekend, and overall, I didn't know if I thought Pamela Anderson and Jamie Lee Curtis's characters were just flighty and stupid, or if it was like they're just really want to still do the show, and like, I don't know. Parts of it were kind of hard to watch because they like, you're rooting for them kind of, and then you're like, oh, I don't know. Like,
I haven't seen it. I am shockingly uninformed with this Oscar season. But I was rooting for Pam Anderson to get a nomination at least, because I've heard so many wonderful things, and I'm just here for all of America kind of apologizing to women that we treated terribly, especially in like in the 90s and the aughts and the teens. I mean, were we in college when her tape with Tommy Lee came out?
No, we were much younger. That was 90s.
No, oh, that's right.
That's like
because
mid-90s.
I do remember, like, at a high school cast party, somebody's like, you know what we're gonna watch? The tape.
I've never seen it. I've never tried to find it. I don't know.
I have, and you know what? Good for him. Good for them. Good for Tommy Lee. But it's also like the least sexy.
Yeah.
One of those tapes that you've ever seen in your life. It's just, okay, you're not doing anything. You're just like, ooh, flippity floppity, and then.
And the thing about Pamela Anderson, and I even said this to my friend in the theater, where was basically a private screening because we were the only ones there on a Sunday morning. Go figure. But obviously she is a smart woman. She's made it through show business. She's had all these ups and downs. She's persevered in a lot of ways. I don't think she's stupid, but the way she talks, it does just come off like she's ditzy, and that's not like that's just how she talks. Like, it's not even that's just how it is. And so, but I think it was perfect for this character. And I was gonna Google this because I assumed the last Showgirl was present day, like these people that have been in the show a long time and it's finally getting canceled, but they have like razor phones and stuff. So I'm like, wait, what year? What
Oh,
year is this?
razors.
Yeah. So I was like, but is this also showing that?
2005?
But then I was like, well, maybe that's that character stuck in time still. Like,
Yeah.
so I was
Oh,
going
I
to
do
do a
wanna go
little
see
more.
it. Yeah.
I was going to do a little more research on it. And there's a part where now every time I hear Total Eclipse of the Heart, I just picture there's a part where Jamie Lee Curtis is like awkwardly dancing to that song. And so
Does she
even
turn around?
and like even this last weekend, I was at the grocery store or something and that song came on and I was like, now all I think
Jamie
of
Lee
is Jamie
Curtis?
Lee Curtis.
That's so fun. How do you feel about Sebastian Stan getting nominated for playing our 45th and 47th president
I
as a
haven't
young fan?
I
I
haven't
haven't seen
seen
it.
that movie.
I don't think I know anyone that has seen that movie.
I like you tried to watch as many nominated films as possible, and a lot of them being in the Midwest don't come here till like the Oscars are over, basically. Like,
Yeah.
so The Brutalist is going to be coming to town here pretty soon. I
I mean,
even
some of them
went,
are only here in New York City at like the art
yeah,
house cinemas,
yeah,
and then
like the
eventually
limited,
crowded
yeah.
for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. Um, and so on the Just Watch app, for those of you that don't know, it will tell
Mhm.
you where anything is streaming or not or whatever. So even the other day, I searched a bunch of the movies, and a lot of them were just only in theaters at this point. So
I'll go
eventually,
see
I'll
them and
watch them.
I'll FaceTime you.
They'll come here eventually. But The Brutalist is like 4 hours long or something. Did you see
Yeah,
that? It's
with an
like super long.
intermission.
Oh
I
well,
but
thank
I
goodness, because
Yes, but I've heard, again, really good things about it, and that it doesn't feel like it's 3.5 hours long.
that's how I felt about Wicked, because part of me was like, the
Yeah.
whole musical live is this long. Like, how are they making the first act this long? But
You
it
know,
didn't feel long.
there are so many folks that have been whining about how they did this with Wicked, about, "I can't believe they put it in 2 parts. The whole movie is just first parted, but it's a whole show and can fit in it." Sure, but they really expanded on a lot of it, and I think it because theater
Worked.
is a different medium
Yes,
than
yes.
film. So you can do different things in those, and with theater, especially with a musical and a big Broadway musical like that with a bunch of stuff to get through, you've just got to keep it going, and you
Mhm.
have time in film.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. And I didn't think it felt long at all. Although
No.
for me, don't get me wrong, I like a low key kind of musical too. Like Once, I liked that
Once
movie
is
even before it
wonderful.
was
Yes.
on stage. Like I like musicals like that as well. But going into this, knowing John M. Chu, like we didn't really get a big spectacle number until Dancing Through Life. So part of me was like, here it is, finally. Like that's what I've been waiting for. You
I
know what
mean
I
that,
mean? Like
but that's one of the big showstoppers in
yeah.
the show. I think he did a great job with Good News at the very beginning.
Mhm.
That felt a very, because like you have all of these like dancing munchkins
Mhm.
and Ariana Grande in a bubble, and I thought that opening number was
It
wonderful.
was, but I don't know, I didn't get, like,
But I hear what you're saying.
excited
Yeah,
about anything. Like, and it wasn't, like, all in until Dancing Through Life, I feel like, but
I'm just
anyway.
so excited for part 2 because I love the music in the second act, and who I don't know if America is ready for As Long As You're Mine.
Literally, when I left the theater in with tear stains down my shirt because I was crying
Just
so
snot
much,
everywhere.
I was like, "How am I gonna make it through for good if this is how I am?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I am gonna be on the floor, like, in the fetal
Oh, yeah,
position.
it's just gonna be racking sobs. They're gonna need standby social workers and therapists to help out all of us afterwards. But then with like in the middle of the next movie when they have As Long As You're Mine, you're gonna need some, I don't know, mop in a bucket because it is gonna get steamy with Jonathan Bailey and Cynthia Erivo. Hold me too tight. Oh.
Yeah, Jonathan Bailey, he kinda came out of nowhere. Like, I know he was Bridgerton, he was in that Fellow Travelers, but, like, I feel like he just, like, all of a sudden
And
everything's like Jonathan
which,
Bailey, you
you
know?
know, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. We're watching Fellow Travelers right now for the first time through, and it's a lot. I have a lot of feelings about it.
I haven't watched it yet, but I did watch Bridgerton, and that show I hate watch a little bit because
I attempted Bridgerton and I got through about half the first episode. I went, I am not the target audience for this, and that is okay.
the first season.
Huh?
Okay, I feel like
I just couldn't do it.
the first season is definitely the sluttiest, or like shows more of just like full on sexy
That
time.
part I don't get. I don't like. Good, be sluttier. I am here for slut. But just like the way that the show is
Yeah.
built, I'm like, oh no, I'm not the target audience.
Well, and
I am
even
a full man sometimes when it comes to that.
I just get annoyed watching it sometimes because into Shonda Rhimes, she's built a lot of universes that I'm a fan of. Like I get it, and these are based on books. But anyway, I mean they do talk about race sometimes, but it's weird that a little bit racism doesn't exist because all these people of color are like the queen is whatever there's all these things, but like sexism is still very strong, so like we can
we love sexism
because like the men can sleep around and whore it up, but the girls can't know what a wiener is or how babies are made or any of that stuff. And then this has always bothered me about any sort of major religion or anything where it's like your main goal is to have kids. Why are you not teaching them how babies are made? Like if you want them to just get pregnant, don't they need to know how it works? Like it drives me crazy that like
but
the
that's why the men are allowed to slut around, so they can figure out how to lead these delicate little women and give up their delicate little flowers to these big strapping mans.
I don't know. Like I said, I watch it and I'm just like, why do I keep watching it? But I keep watching it. I don't know.
Slut shaming anyways has such small dick energy because
Yeah.
I don't want people who have been ran through. Well, sir, you just are embarrassed about the size of your penis, which you can do with whatever you want.
Yeah, you just don't want her to know there's better out there.
That's the whole thing.
There is the one brother, I think, and I think there's a sister that's going to be a lesbian, but the one brother also had some threesomes, some curiosity there. So we're getting into more of that too. So there's some of that.
Speaking of threesomes, Challengers got 0 Oscar nominations.
Yes. And that movie I started to watch on a flight and then I had to shut it off because I felt embarrassed. I was like, nope.
Not even original score for Trent Reznor. And that score is wonderful.
And watching that though, part of me was like, okay, this has gotten a lot of buzz, whatever. And don't get me wrong, I liked the movie, but part of me was like, I don't know how to feel. But I guess that's good. Like that's kind of they want you to like.
I thought it was a fine movie. And when it got a little gay, I was like, oh, this is fun. And then there was
the power of Zendaya. She's like, now you too.
Right. And it was like, okay, great. I mean, it's great. More twinks kissing on screen. Exactly what I could give two shits about. But then like one of them stands up and he's just got like hidden in his boxers, but just like a massive erection. And I went, no, it's not. It's not that size, sir. Because otherwise your friend would have been gay for that moment to be like, I need to see what this is.
Well, and that movie too had the power of like neither one of those guys I really think are that cute, but in that movie during certain times I was like, do I like you all of a sudden? Or like,
right?
Because really they're not my type of like, that's not, I don't know. They usually, I don't know.
You were Prince Charles. I didn't like you then, but now you're a little like kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't know. Parts of it were, yeah.
Again, it was two twinks kissing and I could give a crap about that. Good for them.
Let's switch. I got a question for you. I'm going to switch to TV for a second. Have you watched Silo at all on Apple TV?
We've watched the first season. So Silo and Apple TV was one of the losses in the great, what are we actually watching streaming service purge?
Right. Okay.
So I think we're going to wait for all of Silo and all of Severance to be out to re-up our Apple Plus. Apple
because
TV Plus.
Season 2 just got over of Silo and the last episode made me go. So it was
we loved the first season of Silo.
Yeah, it's
so
really
I'm
good.
very excited for the second one.
And I'm watching season 2 of Shrinking as well. If you want to cry almost every episode, give that. But
I
like,
hear
good
that's
cry.
also great.
It's written by the Brett Goldstein that also did Ted Lasso,
Uh-huh.
and it's very much that same kind of vibe where they say fuck a lot, and some of it's kind of vulgar, but like it's with heart.
Because I love Harrison Ford, but who's the other man? What's his
Jason
name?
Segel.
I'm hot and cold on him. I'm like, okay.
He's okay in this, I think. Like, I
Okay.
don't have any problems with him really. But honestly, I
Good.
just kind of started watching it on a whim because you know how these streaming services, if you don't hit a button right away, they just like start playing the next thing. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I guess I'll watch this.
Yeah,
You got Apple.
Peacock and no, it's not it wouldn't be Peacock, it'd be Paramount really wants us to watch Big Brother, and I'm just like, no, I don't need to watch that.
It's too much of a commitment. It's on like 4 nights a week. I can't.
I know, it's so much.
A lot of people, when they meet me, they assume they're like, oh, I bet you're a Big Brother fan because I watch a lot of TV, and I'm like, I'm actually not. Like, I can't commit to that. I mean, I have Below Deck on Monday, Jersey Shore on Thursday. Those are my trashy reality. That's what I have. So.
Do you want to know how I keep everything straight? I have in my iPhone in the notes, not notes, in reminders, I have set up like TV shows for when they're on because we watch, I mean, there's Abbott Elementary, Top Chef when that's on, Master Chef when that's on, Bob's Burgers, but that one's harder to do because they do 3 weeks on, 17 weeks off. And it's just like, and I have it so my earbuds will talk to me when I get a text when I'm out walking, and at 9 a.m. every morning it's like, reminders, Abbott Elementary tonight at 8 p.m. or something. I'll watch it later. That's what Hulu is for. But thank you.
Yeah. Oh man. Speaking of, okay, Abbott Elementary, I do like. Did you watch English Teacher at all?
Yes.
Did you like that? That was good. I just finished that a couple weeks ago. That was pretty good.
English Teacher.
Yeah.
Because it was, again, also just refreshing to watch a queer story by a queer man and have it not just be silly quips and gay homosexuality. It's like, no, he's just a person who is super flawed. In Texas. And slutty, and that's great.
I love the like coach PE teacher guy in the one episode where he's like giving him the dish on all the students, and he's like, why do you know all this? He's like, how do you know? So ridiculous. Anyway, and I think he's our age-ish, so there is a lot in there that is also for millennials.
Brian,
you know what I
Jordan
mean?
Alvarez, right?
He played Jack's husband on Will and Grace, right? Isn't that the same guy?
Yeah. Brian Jordan Alvarez is, quick math, 3 weeks older than me. We're both born in July of 1987. Outing ourselves as 37 years old.
But no, I just, even when they go on that camping trip and they sing that New Radical song, I was like,
yes,
this is right up my alley here, but okay. All right, I suppose we've done 26 minutes of other shit, so we can get to
we're entertaining. The people are clamoring for what we think about movies we ain't seen yet.
Yep, exactly. So, if you are back for episode 2 of Lostcast, thank you. And if you remember, I led us through the very first episode. So this time, Trey is going to lead us through episode 2. And just another refresher, we actually recorded this once before and lost it. So everyone cross your fingers that it works this time.
They don't need to know all of our secrets. Well, all of your secrets. I was fine.
I'm transparent. I'm a real person that messes things up. And I remember, kind of like now and when I was on the radio, I would have people once in a while say things like, oh, I was going to leave a message on your Facebook, but I didn't know if you'd see it. Or they think we have producers or people helping us. I'm like, no, it is all me doing this.
It is just Natasha.
I have no help. Anyway, okay. Let's do it. Episode 2.
All right. Lost, season 1, episode 2, pilot part 2. Bwom.
I love your sound effects.
Thank you. I'm going to do it for every episode.
I want you to.
Okay, good. So we're back. We start up with Jack, Charlie, and Kate. They're walking back from the pilot in the jungle with the transceiver. We have found it. Charlie is asking 1,000 questions, and Jack, being the magnanimous man that he is answering them. Then Kate asks Charlie, what were you doing in the bathroom? And Charlie says he was getting sick, puking. And they go back and forth, and Charlie eventually says every Trek needs a coward, and all I can think of is him as Merry in Lord of the Rings, where he was just so full of vim and vigor and snacks. Merry was not a coward in that at all. He was so excited to go to war.
Tell you something? I've never seen any of the Lord of the Rings.
Natasha.
I mean, I know he was in them, but I've never seen them. But.
I love the Lord of the Rings. And listeners, if you need her to watch Lord of the Rings and have her, she needs to do a Lord of the Rings recap with me just sitting over here. Did you watch the extended versions though? What's happening with it? But back to Lost.
Okay.
He's a coward. We get our first flashback of the episode, which is focusing on Charlie going through something. The flight attendant offers him a water, and he's short with her, and she is suspicious. She's like, do you want water? No. And then she just looks at him like, you're a deviant. Ma'am, he might be just nervous about flying. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she goes back to talk to the other attendants, and Charlie keeps looking back. A suspicious person would. He then runs for the lavatory. He runs into Jack, which we saw in pilot part 1, and the lav is locked. So he crawls over Boone and Shannon in business class. I think this plane is enormous. It's giant. But he must have stepped on Shannon's foot or something. And then the first jolt of the plane happens. The fasten seatbelt sign turns on. He gets to the first class lavatories, and we see him take something out of his shoes. It's drugs.
They are checkered Vans, just so we know what year it is.
Vans. Everybody had that pair of shoes at some point in their life. Yeah, I think I had knockoff checkered Vans.
Yeah, me too. I had Airwalks or something. So
yeah, whatever you found at Target.
Or Payless, R.I.P.
Yeah, Payless. Famous footwear. And so it's drugs. And he rubs it on his gums, and he just blisses out. Is it heroin? I don't know. I do not do hard drugs.
Same.
If you have to cook it, in a vat or with Walter White, I do not do it. If it grows from the ground, let's talk about it later. And so the flight attendants just keep knocking on the lavatory door, and then Charlie drops the drugs. It's a massive amount of drugs. It is a massive amount of drugs to keep in your shoes. How he wasn't limping and being noticed, I don't know. So he drops it into the drugs and into the toilet. Sidebar. I had to look up when the shoe bomber was, because there ain't no way he's getting those drugs on a plane in his shoes in 2025.
Correct.
So, history lesson. Richard Reed, the shoe bomber, attempted to blow up a plane that was flying between Paris and Miami in December of 2001, 3 months after September 11th.
Wow.
My goodness.
I don't remember being that close together.
It was so close.
Yeah.
So that happened in December of 2001. Lost came out in 2004, so I was confused. Apparently, the TSA didn't start making everyone take off their shoes until 2006.
Oh.
Also, did you know that the TSA didn't exist until after the September 11th attacks?
No, actually. I thought there was still some sort of security though, wasn't there?
But so the TSA was created in November of 2001 as a response to the attacks. And I was only 14 when they happened and didn't fly a ton, so I barely remember what flying was like before all of that. But there had to be something.
We flew to Florida when I was in 7th grade, and I could have swore there was still something. We
flew to Maine every other year to visit family. I flew to the United Kingdom in 1999, and out of the Des Moines airport, but I have no idea what security was like. So if an adult could help us, thank you. All right, so back to the episode. We're still in the flashback. So Charlie goes to maybe flush the drugs down the toilet. I'm not sure what he's reaching for when he goes to flush, because then the plane hits hard turbulence and Charlie flies up into the ceiling of the lavatory. Then he exits the lav, barely misses being slammed into by the beverage cart. He struggles into an empty seats. Also, there were empty seats on airplanes. This plane is so empty. It's massive and nobody is on it. It cannot be flying for profit at this point.
I had one early morning flight from leaving Chicago back to Sioux Falls one time where it was not very full. I could lay down on all 3 seats. I could, nobody was in my row. That's only happened once in my life though.
The only flight that I've ever had where I could do that was I was supposed to be flying into Omaha from New York City after auditions for graduate school, but it was too windy, so they canceled my flight, was rescheduled for the next morning where they flew us to Minneapolis and then Omaha. And there were maybe, 17 people on this flight. So I just slept because I had an extra night in New York. So what did I do? Nothing I could talk about on a family-friendly podcast. it was wonderful. And I was hungover on that flight to Minneapolis. So anyways, back to Lost again. So he's still in first class. I don't know how, and so because of that, I don't know how he got far enough back in the plane to be with the rest of the Losties, the rest of the beach Losties.
That's a valid point that I didn't really think about till you said that. Because he comes out of the bathroom and then just sits, right? He doesn't go back to the back.
And so you would think, after what we had just seen, if he just comes out of the bathroom right behind the cockpit, and then sits in the seat, he should be dead.
And Shannon and Boone aren't that far from him either. So
the geography of oceanic flight, whatever it was, I don't remember what it was anymore, is
8:15 or something.
I think that might be it.
Right? Yeah.
All right.
But they're on the beach because they were meant to be on the beach.
All right, so we're back on the beach, and Shannon is just getting a tan. She's just laying there in her bikini. Boone tries to come and get her to help out in the sorting of things, but Shannon is convinced the cavalry is coming. It's been at least a day that they've been out there. Claire is sitting next to her and chats with Shannon. Claire is exempt from working because pregnant people cannot work in J.J. Abrams' world.
But she also just had kind of a traumatic... She's probably on bed rest a little bit.
Absolutely. And truth be told, yes, pregnant people probably should not be sorting through things after a traumatic event like a plane crash.
And then when she had to run and fell on her belly,
fell on her belly with Hurley. Sigh. So they chat about the baby in Claire's womb, and she admits that she doesn't know the gender and that she hasn't felt them move since yesterday. Also, I'm realizing in this moment, Claire is using gender-neutral pronouns when talking about her baby. It's not a new phenomenon. Culture warriors. Off of that soapbox. Okay. We go to Jin and Sun further down the beach. Jin is gathering, I think, sea urchins. Michael comes up and asks if they've seen Walt, but Jin and Sun only speak Korean. Then Jin yells at Sun and she buttons up her cardigan because everyone knows that even if you're lost, you still have to retain your modesty.
Mm-hmm.
It was gross.
A woman's little clavicle. Woo!
Yeah. Who, buddy? Hetero. I am now a heterosexual from that clavicle. Michael glowers and apologizes and then continues looking for Walt. Which we cut to Walt in the trees, but still enough near the beach, and he is whisper shouting for his dog Vincent because whisper shouting is an effective way to look for a dog on an island. Kids are cute. He's just Vincent.
Dogs have really good hearing, though.
Sure, but come on, kid. So Walt is roaming around and then finds a pair of handcuffs. I don't know if you didn't know this, but handcuffs are not native flora or fauna on a tropical island. You just find them, and everything stops. Michael finds Walt and begins yelling at him because he didn't mind his dad. He then questions him about the handcuffs and gets nervous. Then ominous music plays because handcuffs mean criminals, and criminals are bad. And if the handcuffs are empty, then a bad criminal must have escaped them, and that's bad for the Losties.
Deductive reasoning.
Yes. Also, is that what we called them? Did we call them the Losties?
Sure. I don't know.
I feel like there was a name for
now.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they
Also,
were the tailies. I remember them calling them the tailies.
yeah.
And it wasn't like the beachies. The beachies
Yeah.
sounds like a bad award that you get for
Back to Sun and
service
the
to
button on her
lifeguard.
cardigan. Also, it's, like, probably hot out. Can you imagine having to wear,
Right?
like, a cardigan the whole time?
A cardigan to retain your modesty from all of these people. Gross. Yeah. So now we're back on the beach. There's so many fast
Back and
cuts in
forth,
this
yeah.
episode. Wreck on the beach, and Sawyer and Saeed are beating the shit out of each other. And Michael very weakly says, "Come on, guys," in the most ineffective way. The other Losties are just like in a circle while these guys punch each other. Yes. But also, they're not even doing that. They're just like the racist and the guy and the Iraqi are not doing anything, are just fighting. So Kate, Jack, and Charlie get back, and Jack springs into the action and breaks up the fight. And Michael is like worth a shit this time and helps out.
Yeah. He's like, okay, I can't let Jack show me up, so I'll.
Yeah. So like in the midst of the chaos of like them like breaking apart the fight, Michael then hands the handcuffs to Jack because now is the best time to do that. Sawyer then starts racially profiling Saeed because after all, he is an American and it is a post 9/11 world. So racial profiling is wrong. I also understand why we had it in this TV show in 2004. Because he thinks Sawyer then is like, it's real convenient that people that were sitting next to Saeed are on the plane are now dead. But Saeed survived. Racism rots your brain, folks. Don't just make up things because you're angry that somebody who doesn't have your same skin color is thriving. And then he also noticed that Saeed was pulled out of line at the airport because racial profiling exists. So then, and they're all shouting and showing off who's got the biggest dick. And you know who does have the biggest dick? Kate. Because she yells, "Stop," and the men do. And so, right. And then they tell the group about the transceiver. And Saeed says that he can help. Sawyer says something like a jerk would say. He then calls Hurley Lardo. And then Jack yells at Sawyer. Saeed, yeah, it's a lot of shouting in this episode. And then Saeed's, "I need some time to fix the radio." Rose gets Dr. Jack to look at the man with the shrapnel in his side. Hurley and Saeed then have a moment about Sawyer being a jerk and exchange pleasantries. Saeed reveals that he was a military communications officer in the Gulf War with the Republican Guard. So Saeed is Iraqi. Yeah, he's an Iraqi. And suspicion sets in again because racism, but also he was truly on the other side of the Gulf War.
I even had in my notes like, I think in air quotes like the other side.
The other side.
I do love Saeed's backstory. When we get more of his backstory, though, it's so heartbreaking.
Other than two infamous characters, I love every character on this show.
I do too. Like, yeah, they all have just. That's why the show's so good. But anyway.
Yes. I will always defend Lost because the character development is so good.
Yeah.
All right. So Kate, we're now cutting to Kate. After all that, she's washing her sadness and dirt on the rockiest beach available on Lost Beach. Sun comes over, finds her, and communicates somehow that she needs to get back to the group. Saeed and Kate discuss how transceivers work and decide that they have to hike up the mountains to get a signal. And Kate is just distressed at the thought of a hike in the jungle.
Also, real quick, with her bathing, I wrote Kate is bathing, sort of. And then I said, but it's mostly just so we can see how hot Kate is. I mean, that's what
it's just look at Evangeline Lilly wring out a shirt.
And she's like half naked, whatever.
And she's gorgeous. She is. Good for you, Evangeline Lilly. So then Kate checks in with Jack and the Shrapnel Man. Jack talks about how he can do surgery on the beach if the conditions are all right, but conditions are never right for surgery on the beach. You're going to get sand in the wound, which I think would be worse than salt in the wound, And then Kate and Jack have a tiny little tiff about the hike into the jungle for the transceiver because it's dangerous. Jin is carving up the marine life that he found, and Sun wants to help, but he slaps her hand. Jin is very handsome, but also such a jerk. Boo. Oh,
I even wrote, I forgot he starts out so unlikable.
So unlikable.
Yeah, because we like him eventually, but yeah, right now we don't.
So he walks away with a tray of food, and Sun just stares off and opens the top button of her cardigan in defiance, and we all cheer.
Yes, I loved it.
Yeah. So then Jin finds Hurley and tries to convince him to eat the food, and Hurley turns his nose up at it. And he kind of makes a self-deprecating joke. Look at how fat I am. I don't even want that bullshit. And just laughs and laughs. And he didn't say bullshit because it's ABC. Bum, bum, bum.
They'd probably say it now, though. I feel like TV...
I don't know if network TV does or not.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so different than how we grew up these days.
So we cut to, again, so many. Cut to Walt reading a comic book, but it's in Spanish. There is a polar bear in this comic book. And some superheroes. Michael asks if he can read Spanish, and Walt can't read Spanish. He just found it and is looking at the pictures. Then Michael says, we'll get you another dog when we get back home, and Walt just runs away because he wants Vincent. And don't talk about the dog until you either find him alive or dead or you're getting off the island.
Right. Yeah.
Don't do that. We go to Charlie, who has found his drug. So that's what he was doing in the bathroom. And he snorts it and he blisses out. Jack then tells Hurley to look through the bags for antibiotics, and Hurley is like, why? And that's that whole scene. We then get to Shannon. Shannon is sad and crying because she was mean to a guy at the gate who wouldn't let them have their seats in first class, and he saved their lives because she was mean. Boone calls her worthless because she's crying, and Shannon says, I've been through a trauma. And Boone says, we all have, and they just start screaming at each other. And in this one, I am on Shannon's side.
Yeah.
I am on Shannon's side. Yes, you have been through a trauma. Let me cry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... we've talked about that enough.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah. Yes.
So they start screaming at each other, and then Shannon decides she's going to go on the hike too. And they go over there, and Boone's trying to get her to not go, and she says such a good line, shut up and stop trying to be charming, which is so good. Just say that to the person you're fighting with next time. If they're your partner and you're just shut up and stop trying to be charming, I want to be mad at you. Yeah, just do that. Sometimes it's going to be mad.
And I think we found out early in the episode that Shannon and Boone are brother-sister.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because Claire was like, oh, is that your boyfriend? She's like, no, it's my brother, my step brother. Okay, so Kate doesn't want her to come on the hike, but Shannon asks if Charlie's going, and Charlie is like, well, are you going? And so everybody's just going to go. Kate is having none of this. She's like, we are leaving now.
She's like, I don't care, but we're leaving now.
So the hikers are starting to go off, and Sawyer is having a cigarette on a burned out jet engine, looking distraught, reading a letter, and then he decides to go on a hike. It's a group activity, everybody.
Yay!
Because what do we want going up a mountain? More than 2 people. That's not helpful. So we're on the hike. We have Kate, Saeed, Shannon, Boone, and Sawyer, and Charlie. And we have a hike montage. It's just a weird little hike montage with people climbing the mountain. Music plays. Great.
And it is a treacherous hike. They're rock climbing.
They're going vertical.
Yeah. And I wrote, Shannon is probably regretting this. I know I would be.
Oh, yeah, because she's in the tiniest denim skirt and I think gladiators or something.
Yeah, they're not appropriate for what they're doing. But anyway.
No. Now we're back to the beach. So many cuts. I just realized. Jack is looking for a blade of some sort and talks with Michael about Walt. Jack says that he saw a yellow lab in the jungle and that he looked good. So Michael gets an idea. We go over to the man on the beach with a scar on his face. It's John Locke, but we don't know that yet.
Yep.
And he said he got backgammon. Walt is interested because he's a 10-year-old kid and what else is there to do?
Right.
We find out that Walt's mom died a few weeks before all of this happened, and Locke says, "You're having a bad month."
And
Walt just says, "Huh? Oh yeah." It is a funny line.
Because he's being honest, whoa.
Yeah,
I thought this was bad for me, but that's bad.
No, you yeah, it's awful.
I knew that Walt and Michael had a strained relationship, but I didn't remember about the mom dying, and I don't remember all the ins and outs of their stuff. But yeah.
That's why we're rewatching. So then John Locke gives us a history of the game backgammon, and we find out that it is older than Jesus. And then we get an iconic Lost moment. where Locke says 2 players, 2 sides, 1 is light, 1 is dark. And he holds up 2 pieces from the backgammon up to his face and asks Walt if he wants to know a secret, and everyone in the audience gets the heebie-jeebies. And that's an iconic moment, like the 2 players, 2 sides, 1 is light, 1 is dark. That's the entire show.
Yeah.
There is your thesis of Lost. Write a paper for your dissertation about it. Thank you. So now we move over to Jin. Jin offers Claire some food and she acquiesces. And then she gasps because she can feel the baby moving inside of her and grabs Jin's hand and makes him feel her stomach because he's kicking and she's so excited. And she seems to have a revelation then that she's having a boy. Oh.
And Jin seems totally, as conservative as he is, I think he's like, oh, I shouldn't be like touching another woman or whatever.
Well, no, he did not want to touch her belly, but she's just, I'm pregnant, do it.
Yeah, and I like that you use that big fancy SAT word, acquiesces.
Well, I mean, that's what she does, though.
And this is the first sort of hint-ish that we get that the island kind of has maybe some healing properties because she,
I mean, at this point in the show, like, correlation is not causation.
Yeah.
But yeah, the island does have healing powers, and we'll find out about that in a couple of episodes.
Mm-hmm.
To a giant extent. Back to the hikers. Sawyer's being a butthole about the transceiver. Then they hear some growling and something coming towards them, and everyone but Sawyer runs away because I think Sawyer's just over everything at this point. Sawyer stays and he pulls out a gun and shoots the creature that is charging them, and that creature turns out to be a polar bear. And I remember this moment, right? Yeah. And I remember this moment in pop culture, and everyone was obsessed with the polar bear, right? Because that's, I think, beyond the mystery of like why did the plane crash or what's that sound in the jungle. We're in the jungle on an island, and now there's a polar bear. And I think that was probably the moment where everybody went, what is this show? Mm-hmm. I need to know more. Truly,
for
a
those of you
moment.
Yes, it really was. And for those of you that don't know, polar bears don't usually live in a warm tropical climate.
They do now because of global warming, but hey. And climate change.
They usually live by Santa. So
they're Santa's protection.
Yes, they are. Okay.
So we go back to the beach with Jack and Hurley and Shrapnel Man, and we are gonna do surgery. Jack tells Hurley that he's mainly there to hold the man down in case he wakes up and pulls the shrapnel out. Charlie doesn't do so good around blood. Jack pulls the shrapnel out, and there's so much blood. Hurley faints because blood, and Jack is just there like, what do I do? Commercial. That's what we do.
And because technology hates me, for some reason, a little chunk of Trey's story was lost. Haha, get it? Anyway, here's what you missed. Sawyer had a gun, shot the polar bear. They're fighting about how he got a gun. Sawyer says he found it. He also found an air marshal badge, which means there's a criminal. Who is the criminal? We don't know. And we're back.
He accuses Sawyer of being the prisoner in handcuffs. I'm the criminal, you're the terrorist. We can all play a part. Who do you want to be? It's such a great Sawyer line. I love it so much.
Because the show, it kind of is like tongue-in-cheek for the show in general because everybody does kind of fit into a stereotype a little bit. Yeah, like, and it's, I kind of wink, wink.
Yeah, and it also starts a little bit of this great tradition of Sawyer giving everybody nicknames. Except for the same one usually. He called Hurley Lardo, and they're just all fat jokes for Hurley.
Yeah.
It's all Doc for Jack. It's pretty great.
Yep.
Kate gets a gun off of Sawyer, points it at him. Saeed walks her through how to take a gun apart and get the bullets out and distributes the pieces. Saeed gets the magazine, Sawyer gets the gun. And then we have flashback to it's Kate and Shrapnel Man. He calls the flight attendant sweetheart, and everybody is grossed out by his smarmy misogyny. And it's revealed that Shrapnel Man is the U.S. Marshal and Kate is Gasp the prisoner.
But girls can't be criminals.
No, especially pretty ones.
That always have hair in their face.
Yes. The plane then jolts and the fasten seatbelt sign turns on. Kate wants to ask him a favor when the plane rocks again and a giant hard suitcase flies out of an overhead compartment, hits the marshal in the head, and he is just covered in blood. It is just head wounds bleed, but
They
my
really do.
God, it is so much blood. The masks drop. Kate can't do anything because she's cuffed. She struggles. She finally gets the keys and unlocks herself. She puts the mask back on the marshal, and the back half of the plane breaks off, and we just cut to Kate hyperventilating because that is just what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do like that even though this man is arresting her and whatever, she does put the mask on him before herself. She could just be like, F you. You know what I mean? But she does do that.
But no, she's a criminal with a heart of gold.
Yeah. Her story is also like, part of me is like, I'm not mad at what she did, kind of. But
you keep saying that. I barely remember what she did.
But yes, also in this moment, we do see the plane, like, it falls.
Snap in half.
Yes,
Yeah, the back of the plane.
People are, like, flying out of the back.
Gone.
Yeah.
Ugh. So we're back in present day. Well, we're back on the island. The marshal wakes up in the middle of surgery. Hurley's fainted, and the marshal grabs Jack's shirt and says, "Where is she?" And Jack wants to know who.
Yeah. And also, is that really the first thing? Wouldn't you be like, where am I? Or like, what is happening? Who are you?
I have a piece of metal in my side. Ow, my kidney. No, it's where is she? I'm a cop, and what do cops think about? Criminals. That's all I think about. Criminals and donuts. Then we go back to the hikers.
Mm-hmm.
Saeed pulls out the transceiver now that they're at an actual clearing higher up a mountain and gets a signal. There's feedback, and Saeed realizes that there is a signal already transmitting from the island, and we hear French. Charlie gets very no, and no, neither does almost anybody else on this island.
Right.
So Charlie gets very excited. I've never been so happy to hear the French. Boone announces that Shannon speaks French because she spent a year in Paris and she goes drinking, not studying. We all love Shannon.
I mean, yeah.
We love Shannon, but we are all so exasperated by Shannon. Yeah. She's exhausting, but the best. Then an automated voice comes on and says, iteration, and then a bunch of numbers. The battery is dying on the transceiver. The hikers have, the hikers have, and everyone is doing just the most during this moment. Shannon realizes that the message is repeating on a loop, and that's what the iteration is. Saeed realizes that the automated iteration voice is telling how many times the transmission has already gone out and starts to do math because Saeed is very smart. Just so much math so fast. Shannon then translates, and this is what I got from her saying it. Please help me. Please come get me. I'm alone now. I'm on the island alone. Please someone come. The others, they're dead. It killed them. It killed them all. And then the battery died. What a terrifying message.
Yeah. But also, Shannon was helpful.
Shannon was helpful.
There we go.
Who needs to move luggage when you speak French?
And honestly. I am doing Duolingo to learn French, so I can tell you, that someone has a car.
Hey, I just started Babbel and learning German. So me and you, we can go to Europe someday. So Saeed, after the batteries died, Saeed has worked out that the iteration of the distress call, the Mayday, has been playing over and over for 16 years and 5 months. And everyone looks about and gets very pensive. And Charlie asks the question of the night in the final line of the episode. Guys, where are we? Bwom.
He gets the last line a lot before commercials and stuff a lot. Even at least in the first 2 episodes, he does a lot.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to see what he does in episode 3. Yes, that was episode 2.
Dun, dun.
So much happened in that episode.
And I forget, even just watching the first 2 episodes, I forgot how many times we relive the plane crash. Oh, we literally see it from every angle, like a lot.
I'm pretty sure it is every single flashback in the first season.
Yeah, it's if you don't like flying, don't watch this show because
No.
it's not going to make you feel better about it. Okay, should we do our little roundup of questions for this episode?
Yeah, what questions have we come up with for this? There's so many questions.
Well, I think Where Are We is at the top of the list.
Where are we? Where are we?
Yeah.
That Charlie asks, if Charlie's band is doing so well, why is he not in first class?
And where's the rest of his band?
And where's the rest of his band?
Why is he solo?
Are you a little druggy liar there, Charlie? Little chucko?
I had, where did a polar bear come from?
Where?
And then another question I had, what did Kate do to get arrested?
What did Kate do? I think that's the title of an episode, What Kate Did.
I also wrote, is Saeed a terrorist? I mean, he did work for the other side, so we don't know.
Right, but maybe he didn't want, I don't know.
I know, but I just think he's very attractive and like the way I love the way he talks. So.
Saeed is so handsome.
And he's actually like in real life British. Like he's got a great accent even in real life. So another question I have is Sawyer a dick? Then I have, is Jin's food magic?
Great.
Who is the French lady on the radio?
We'll find out.
And will Kate ever be able to have all of her hair back at once?
I don't think she ever does.
Those were all my questions. What do you have?
Yeah, if Charlie's band is doing so well, why is he in first class? How does Charlie get back far enough to be with the Losties? Why is Shannon? I mean, love Shannon, but it's just, oh my gosh, why are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
If Claire's 8 months pregnant, how is she allowed to fly?
Yes, that still bothers me from the first episode too. Yeah,
so much.
We do kind of get, I believe, with her story, we learn why. Yeah, but
we get a lot of personal questions answered. We get some that aren't, but I think we do get some of these basic things. Why is Jin such a dick?
Him and Sawyer should hang out together more.
Gosh, right? Why doesn't the monster go onto the beach?
Yeah, there's like some sort of force field or something.
Yeah. And kind of like what we said already, like, why is the first question the marshal asks, where is she? What? What?
Like, get a life, bro. Touch grass.
Yeah.
There's other stuff going on.
Yeah, you're already touching sand, but touch grass.
Like, read the room. There's more going on.
Oh.
Do you have in your little spreadsheet the questions from last episode? Did we get anything answered?
Let's look. Why is Jack so No, I don't.
Nothing's answered yet?
Nothing. I have to look at it now.
Spreadsheet, so I thought
I love a spreadsheet. You know what? I love creating a spreadsheet, but sometimes maintaining a spreadsheet is hard. No, I will do better about looking at those as we go on.
I just threw that at you like, hey, I don't think anything got answered.
No, I don't think so.
And
it shouldn't. Yeah.
Yes. No. And even at the end of this entire series, questions will not be answered.
So many questions, and that will not be answered. And there's some that I want to be like, guys, this question not going to be answered. You're going to be wanting it to be answered, and it just never will be.
Nope, it's not happening.
No.
All right. Well, I think we did it.
I think so.
Episode 2, baby. That's like really close to what the sound actually is. Like, that's really good.
It's because I'm a bass.
What's your go-to karaoke song, or do you have one?
I don't really have one. I've been thinking about that and about whether or not I should get a good go-to karaoke song. It was for a while. It was a Garth Brooks song, and I think it was off the Sevens album. My brother's go-to karaoke song when he was like 12 was Long Neck Bottle by Garth Brooks.
Garth was a really good live show. I've seen him in concert once.
Garth.
He was so
I
good.
haven't. It's kind of hard to find good songs for me because like I'm a baritone bass, and so what am I going to do? Is that No, is that Josh Evans? Is that his name? Like with Long Black Train. It's a great song, but also then too deep for me.
Yeah, Lance Bass says that a lot too. He's like, I'm a bass. Like I just go like bah and like every song.
Yeah.
You know, like he's like I always like to do, because as a female, I'm definitely an alto, do not have a very high voice at all, can hardly sing any girl songs. I like to do like Cher, Turn Back Time.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes like Bad Romance, Lady Gaga's kind of in my, like
Okay.
she's a little lower sometimes. And Dua Lipa, God bless her, she's got a lower voice too, so that
hey.
I can do that once in a while.
You know who I would love? I need to relearn this song. It's weird, but Back to Good by Matchbox 20.
Such a good song.
It's such a good song.
Okay, I saw them
Everyone here knows everyone here, but think
and don't
about
sue us, please.
somebody else. What's that?
I said, and please don't sue us for singing your song here. But
No, it was less than 7 seconds. It's fine.
So Matchbox 20 came to Sioux Falls. They were supposed to come in 2020, obviously got rescheduled 3 years later in 2023. Finally got to see him or whatever. And some people are like, really, Matchbox 20? They put on such a freaking good show.
I bet.
Don't hate on Matchbox 20. Like,
I love
Rob
Matchbox
Thomas
20 so
still,
much.
and I just love when I see a band, and I'm getting so passionate about this, and I didn't even know I liked Matchbox 20 this much until I saw this show.
Yeah.
But especially some of these songs that they've sang a bajillion, trillion, million times, and they could just phone it in, and they could whatever. But you could tell Rob Thomas was up there with like everything in his body, like singing some of these, like Back to Good and some of these songs, and I was like, oh. Like, I just love it.
I bet that concert hall arena, wherever it was just alive when he was just like, I want to push you around. Well.
Yeah. But if you ever, like, Matchbox 20 was one of those shows where, I grew up listening to them, but I didn't, like, love them by any means. And then I go to their concert and I'm like, losing my mind, and I'm like, who even is this person? I didn't know I liked them this much. Like,
maybe
I've
you're
had
just
that
a little bit crazy. You're just unwell. Maybe that's what it is.
But I've had that happen at multiple shows where I kind of just go because tickets weren't that expensive or someone invited me, and then the minute I'm there, I'm like,
I mean, and you were on the radio for a while, so I'm sure that you just went to concerts constantly.
Yeah,
right?
I do miss that. And I did go to a few concerts too where I was like, if this wasn't a free ticket, I'd be pissed.
Oh.
But other people were leaving seemed happy, so I was like, whatever. Because to me,
you should tell me that one we're not recording.
Most of them were rap kind of shows, but
sure.
But
some about your jam.
Well, and some, like, don't get me wrong, I do like some rap, but like some of those shows are just shorter, or like they had a bunch of openers and then the main part wasn't very long, and I don't know, just stuff like that where I'm like, no, we came here, we didn't want to see 5 openers, we wanted to see you or whatever, so stuff like that. But anyway, I even miss getting
concert.
I even miss getting tickets to like Disney on Ice and stuff, because like I'm not gonna buy that myself, but got a free ticket.
I used to work at a costume shop here in the city, and I got tickets because we built some of the costumes for Disney on Ice.
Oh, nice!
And I got to go, and it's this is magical for children.
Okay, and this is gonna be, again, I live in the Midwest. We get everything way after the coast. So if you're listening, if you're like one of Trey's friends listening to this, I just saw Hadestown last weekend. So.
No, good. There are shows here that I haven't seen.
Yeah, and so again, as a nerd, I do watch the Tonys every year. I had heard of Hadestown. I knew like a little bit about it, and also Persephone has always been my favorite in Greek mythology since like 8th grade. So I love that the character in that show lived up to like everything I wanted Persephone to be, and like I still love her. I just always have loved that story of those seasons, and then seeing it right before the inauguration and during some of the coldest days in the Midwest. It was like 20 below. So much of what they said was like, did you write this yesterday? Like, I don't understand. Because there's all this about winter dragging on.
Why did we build the wall? We build the wall.
I knew, and like I had heard some of the music, but when they started that song, I turned to my friend Heather and I was like, are you And then
I think she wrote it during his first term.
And then there was part of me that was like, and also, why does Hades have more redeeming qualities than he who must not be named,
I mean, because I love a villain I love a charming villain. Because they have to be charming.
The guy that played him
to do things
in the touring show, his voice literally like vibrated my uterus. Like
yes, mine too when I saw it.
And I was like, okay.
Hadestown is also such a good show because it's Orpheus and Eurydice, and we all know how that ends. But that didn't stop me from being devastated.
Yes, you still like
when
gasp,
it happened. He turned and I sobbed just like that, like that catch.
But also, just like a man, to ruin it, like you were almost there, man.
We are dreadful.
But I liked that, and for a minute I was like, oh no, this is gonna be like the ending of like Pippin or Cabaret or Fiddler on the Roof or something where you leave sad, like it's but I felt hopeful still at the end a little bit, because like Hermes comes out and says we're gonna sing this song again and it's kind of like we're gonna do it till we get it right, and I was like, oh, I know, me too.
Yeah,
so good. I was like,
it's so good.
And I was like, am I gonna cry? I was like, oh. I hadn't left the theater feeling like that in a long time.
Oh.
There's just not, like, it was so good. And the way they use the lighting and the wait for me. Like, oh my God, so good. So good.
It's a stunning show. I need to see Cabaret here in the city. I just hear that it's such a good production. And especially right now, there's been a lot of talk about. So Adam Lambert is playing the MC right now. And
did you hear about? Are you going to say that where someone laughed?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's happened. If you could see her through my eyes, he's like the MC. For those who don't know, the MC is like dancing around with a person in a gorilla suit, and then at the very end of the show, if you could see her through my eyes, she wouldn't look Jewish at all, because Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club is set in Berlin at the rise of the Third Reich. And as happens so often, because it happened during Alan Cummings revivals also, where people will laugh at the word Jewish, like she wouldn't look Jewish. This gorilla wouldn't look Jewish. People will laugh. And Adam Lambert, I think it was like the day after the inauguration, or like the Wednesday after the inauguration, said, no, this isn't funny. Pay attention.
Yeah.
And that just sucked the oxygen out of the room in the best way.
Yeah. And I heard that he like stayed in character. Like he still kind of said it with the accent and stuff, like he didn't.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
Because that's what Cabaret is, though, too. Yeah, if I start hearing anybody singing Tomorrow Belongs to Me, I know that we are in deep shit.
Yeah. And that show was one that I've seen Cabaret. Our local theater did it, and then I saw the touring show that came through, which no offense to our local theater, but obviously the touring shows are
sure.
So it's funny leaving the theater after, like, at the pavilions where all the touring shows come, and a lot of people just buy, a lot of older people even, they just buy the season every year, not knowing whatever,
as they should.
Yes, but then and I think it's good that they see some, but like some of them you see them leaving like, what the hell? Like, and it's like, well, that's like, it happened,
know
like,
what, also, sir, did you not know what Cabaret was? It's been around since the 70s.
Yeah, like, and that's, and again, living in the Midwest sometimes, and I had a friend that used to be one of the ushers at the pavilion, and when we had like Rent or Book of Mormon, I was like, well, how many people walked out today? And he's like, actually only one. Like,
oh, hey.
So like sometimes it is what it is. But also like Book of Mormon or some of these shows, or even, but okay, Book of Mormon's a little newer, so if maybe you don't know what that is, fine. But like Rent's been around forever.
2010.
But still, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Rent was
it's
96.
Just interesting. Yeah, you should probably know what that is about by now.
Yeah. Or just do a little research.
Yeah, I hear you. But
unless you are a theater lover, then go in blind. If you're just like, I appreciate what the art form does, go in blind. But if you're a person that has, I love Oklahoma and Hello Dolly, maybe you should look up.
Yeah.
Not that those aren't great shows, but you might not like the Book of Mormon with people eye.
Even there were parts of the Book of Mormon where I'd heard the music a ton, but seeing it, some of the scenes there's a lot going on stage. I, who am pretty open-minded, whatever, I was even like, oh my God. How are they getting away with? But I mean, it's still a great show, but seeing it for the first time, I was like, oh, they did it. They just they put that on stage.
Jeez.
I thought there was one more thing I was going to say about Hadestown, and now I forgot. Oh, I work with a girl that she works at the pavilion part-time helping with like costumes and load in and load out and stuff. And I was like, please tell me the cast was super cool because I just really liked the show and I need them to all be really nice. And she was like, actually, they were, because not all of them are. But they were like, they all seemed genuinely, they all got along and hung out and were pretty chill backstage and stuff. So that was nice.
So here's another little story about when I worked at a costume shop in New York City for off-Broadway and Broadway and touring shows. Some of the rudest people, like performers that would come in, were the little chorus boys and girls doing like a show at an amusement park. Like they would just show up with like their sunglasses on. Hi, I'm here. Cool. What's your name? You don't know. No, I don't know you. What's your name? Jim. I've got 3 Jims today. What? Jim W. You're actually 10 minutes late, so let's get you into the fitting room.
Yeah.
But then I had celebrities. I'll just say their names. I won't give too many.
Name drop. Just do it.
Judith Light, Marley Matlin, Stell Parsons, Norm Lewis. These humans, when they walked into the room, were the kindest souls and just looked at you and hi. Like when Judith Light, hi, I'm Judith Light. Judith, I'm here for my fitting. Yes, please follow me. You are the boss. We've got to put you into the fitting room so that we're not.
Judith Light has also been on SVU. She was amazing. I love her.
Judith Light is so.
I mean, she's done
lovely.
A lot of things, but I just
she was in the first show that my dad saw on Broadway, and I let her. The rule was always, if it's a celebrity, just. Hi, please follow me. We're going to put you in the room so everybody's not staring at you. But I had to go, Miss Light, I just have to let you know that my dad, his first Broadway show that he saw was Lombardi, and he just loved it, and he really loved you in it. She said, oh, thank you so much. What's his name? And so I was like, it's Bob. Please tell Bob thank you for me. And then I did. And she came in a week and a half later, and she's like, hi, Trey. How's Bob doing? And I'm like, he's good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Judith Light knows your name and your dad's name.
Judith Light is an angel human.
That makes me very happy to hear.
Yes. I'll tell my Marley Matlin story next time.
Ooh, what a tease. Got to end on that.
Yeah.
All right. Do we need a sign off for this? Lostie's out.
Probably. Get me off the island.
I don't know. I can't think of a good one.
Yeah.
We'll think on it.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Okay. For now, we'll just say bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Talking with Tasha and Trey, the Lostcast pilot part 2. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, tell all your friends, rate, review, subscribe, comment, share, do all the things. You know what to do. Again, we want to send out our condolences to the friends and family of the loved ones that were lost in the plane crash at the end of January. And we hope that you'll come back to listen to the Lostcast in the future. And for all things Talking with Tasha or Talking with Tasha and Trey, the Lostcast, you can check out talkingwithtasha.com. On the website, you can also find me on all the social medias. You can also email me, talkingwithtashapod@gmail.com. I'm also on Fiverr and Cameo if you need voiceover work done or a video message sent to somebody. Valentine's Day is coming up. But once again, make sure you like, comment, rate, review, subscribe, share. I really would appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. I think there's only one thing left to do. Be safe, make good choices, wash your hands, just try to be a good person, stay hydrated, and peace out, Brussels sprout. Bye.